In 12 hours, U.S. STRATCOM will have a new commander. Navy Admiral Charles Richard will take over from Air Force General John Hyten.
Hyten's moving to the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Since he's been here, it's been a time of change for the nation's nuclear command structure. And I talked with Hyten about the successes and the battles still ahead, including a personal one he fought in front of a national audience.
I'm going to go from a command of 150,000 people on Monday to a staff of 12 on Thursday.
General John Hyten is about to become the vice chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, leaving the job he's had the past 3 years leading United States Strategic Command.
This has always been the most powerful command in our country, the most powerful command in the world. But we had diffused our focus in so many different ways that we weren't paying attention to the primary missions that we should.
During Hyten's watch, STRATCOM streamlined its command components from 18 to 4. Two of them moved out, space and cyberspace. Happens to be two of Hyten's passions that he told us about in 2016.
Space power, what it means to you.
But because of growth, they needed their own commands. Now with the streamline, Hyten says STRATCOM can refocus
missile suspension released
on its role of nuclear deterrence.
Item 128, launcher closure door open.
But to keep doing that, he says the U.S. has to bring all the military's tools up to speed.
We're going to modernize our entire enterprise over the next decade, and we have to do that and never lose our readiness.
Part of that modernization, this $1.3 billion command and control facility. It's almost ready to go online, maybe by the end of the year. This summer, we gave you a rare look into the heart of the facility, the Global Command Center. And right next to it, nuclear command, control, and communications. Hyten calls it one of the most powerful weapons in STRATCOM's arsenal.
So it is a weapon system. This was built to fight from.
This committee takes allegations of sexual assault very seriously.
After being nominated for his new job, Hyten faced a personal fight that was very public.
The Air Force process was thorough, very invasive, very painful, but nonetheless thorough.
That process, investigations into sexual misconduct claims made by a former aide.
It's difficult. It's difficult on everybody. But my wife and I made a decision that we have to stand up for what we believe, stand up for the truth, and let the process work. And the process did work.
The yeas are 75, the nays are 22. The nomination's confirmed.
The Senate cleared, then confirmed Hyten. So he hits the ground running Thursday. And one of the issues reportedly up in the air is the Open Skies Treaty. It allows more than 30 countries to fly over each other taking photos. Now, sources tell Newswatch 7 President Trump had discussed pulling the U.S. from the treaty, a move questioned by Nebraska's congressional delegation. And as the #2 guy in the Pentagon, General Hyten says his job will be to give the White House his best military advice about open skies.
We get benefits from them. Others get benefits from them. You have to look at the balance. And then ultimately the president has to make the decision.
I asked Hyten if, looking back, he questions any of his decisions, has any regrets. He says yes. He wished he'd spent more time with the people of STRATCOM, less time in Washington. Ironic, since that's where he's headed.
I wish the world was a little more quiet. It's a kind of a noisy place right now. It doesn't matter where you look. There's challenges in the world, so pray for peace.
Change of command ceremony begins tomorrow at 10 a.m. There will also be a dedication of that new facility. It will be named for General Curtis LeMay.